got him. Uh-oh. Oh, back to back. What's up, guys? Recently, Jeremy Antrup and I, also known as the scientist, dubbed by Tackle Shack LLC, won a tournament on the new rage, the latest rage in baits here lately, the glide bait. Now Jeremy whittled one down, hand carved one about a year ago, and had a basic design that seems to be phenomenal. Now I fished his bait, the J Glide, against other gliders, and so far this thing's been insane. Now last week he made a white one, also known as Marshmallow, that he just went out and destroyed them on. When we went out in this tournament, we had 23.18 pounds, easily had more on. We had a few pull off, but the Marshmallow was the hot one, has been on that particular lake. Now, in the last year, the hot one seems to be the bluegill colored one. We're gonna take a look at them real quick, and I'm gonna explain a little bit about how we fish them. There they are, top to bottom. We got Marshmallow, we got perch, we got the shad, and we got the bluegill. And there's Marshmallow, that's what the one we won the tournament on. All these baits are custom. It takes Jeremy a long time just to make one. So they can get a little pricey. As you know, the custom made glide baits are a little pricey, but they're worth it. I mean, this is kind of a niche bait. You find the right lake or the right situation, which we did have. We had the little bit of what we call the magic happen on Saturday when they set up. LiveScope kind of clued me in on some fish that had pinned some shad to the bank that you couldn't see with your eyes because they weren't schooling on them, but you could see with forward-facing sonar. Now, we didn't watch those fish bite, we just located them, hit spot lock, and was able to put together a nice sack of fish, especially for around here in northern Indiana. Let me talk a little bit real quick about how we fished them. We cast out, depending on the depth, about a foot on the fall, and then a nice slow retrieve. Every once in a while, we'd give it a little double tap or a click, maybe a little hesitation, but they pretty much start to sink as soon as you throw them out, about a foot a second, and once you start to reel, they kind of stay at that depth. These are a big fish bait. Generally, most of the fish you catch on them are keepers or bigger. Most of the time, like Sunday, almost every fish we caught on it was over 3 pounds. This is not a bait you're gonna go out there and throw out there and catch 300 bass a day on. This is a bait you're gonna win tournaments with when the situation's right. So let me explain real quick kind of what we're doing. I'm throwing it on 20-pound fluorocarbon. Sunday I was using Seagar Basics. Brazex is another good one. Tatsu, 20-pound fluorocarbon, I think, is the key. That's what we've discovered. This bait does weigh almost 2 ounces, so it's heavy. I was throwing it Sunday on a medium heavy. Jeremy was throwing it on a heavy. They seem to like a little bit slower gear ratio, 6.5 and less. Even experiment a little bit with a 5, and that slow retrieve seems to be good, and it seems to trigger a few more bites than a faster retrieve. So right now, I got one rigged up on a Dobbins 744. Again, 20-pound test, fluorocarbon, and you know, it's a heavy action rod, and I threw it Sunday on an older St. Croix I still have, a medium heavy 7-foot St. Croix, and just a little bit of give, tiny bit of give in the tip, but enough backbone to control these big fish and to be able to launch that big old glider out there. Now, unfortunately, we did a little video a couple days ago on this and got all the action in there, but the audio is not there. So maybe I can set it to music, show you a few fish catches, but I wanted to explain kind of what we were doing with it. Tackle Shack is the only place on the planet that sells the J Glide. Well worth the money if you like catching big fish and tossing big baits and targeting big fish and hopes to win a tournament by a lot of weight. This is one of those baits that you need to add to your arsenal. And you have to put your head down sometimes and throw it, because sometimes other baits are gonna get more bites, but this one's gonna catch the ones you really, really want. So check them out, give Tackle Shack a call. I'll put all the information right here, and you better get them ordered because they're hard to get. Like I said, it takes him a long time to make just one bait. So he makes them per order, and they're gonna get a little bit of stock, and hopefully we don't overwhelm Jeremy too much. But again, he's amazing at what he does. His mind thinks and creates these amazing things. If you tell it to him, he can create it, and he has done it with the J-Glide. It's an amazing little bait. Check him out. Better get your order in so you're ready for the upcoming tournaments. God bless everyone. Thanks for watching.
Oh yeah, that's Bubba. Big and yeah, 4-pounder.
See if I can get him in. He grown. That's a pretty nice one. That's how you get them out about every time. They try to eat it head first. You get one right into the lower jaw. How much?
4 3/4.
It's a pretty big one. I think you're right. 486. 486. That's not a bad one. That's just a little one. Another glided fish. Isn't that dumb? Isn't that dumb? Every fish looks the same too, and you don't catch fish like those big bellied ones. But I think they're different fish because a lot of the fish you catch jerking and stuff don't have that gut. These are fish that are only eating shad or something. I don't know.
Bigger shad.
Yeah. Another glided fish. 3.5.